the hours. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, find you a lover. Go away somewhere all bright and new. I have seen no other who compares to you. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. You belong with your love on your arm. You belong somewhere you feel free. Let your heart be your guide. You deserve the deepest of cover. You belong in that home by and by. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your troubles and worries. You belong somewhere you feel free. You belong somewhere you feel free.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out Wildflowers by Tom Petty. Really super nice acoustic guitar song, this one, with some really lovely embellishments, great strumming pattern, just loads of cool things to check out. I feel like I should mention that it's a little bit weird, definitely, that I'm wearing like a singlet and I've got a shiny arm. I just got a new tattoo yesterday. It's still a little bit sore and I've got to put the cream on it and stuff. I'm putting a t-shirt on and kind of rubs it off. So I'm not going to make a habit of this kind of attire for my lessons, just to warn you in advance, but that's why that explains that. Hopefully it doesn't put you off or freak you out or anything too much. The majority of this song is based around just 4 fairly simple chords with some nice embellishments, although the bridge has a few additional chords that you need to check out as well. The structure is relatively consistent, so let's get to a close-up, check out the chords and the structure first of all. So first important thing to note, of course, is the capo at the 5th fret. First chord is this F add 9 chord, so that's 3rd fret on the 4th string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 1st fret on the 2nd string, and little finger going down on the 3rd fret of the thinner string. Of course, I'm meaning 3 frets above the capo, not the actual 3rd fret, of course. So that's the first chord, F add 9, sometimes called an F major 9, but add 9 is a better descriptor. Then we go to a C chord. So these 2 fingers stay down, so we're keeping this high note. So 3rd finger and second finger move over to the C. Then again, those 2 would move down, although I don't tend to use my 2nd finger here on that G. I'm just playing that with the 3rd finger. We need 1st finger to do an embellishment. It definitely feels a bit more comfortable without 2nd finger getting involved. And then it's back to the C. But also worth noting at this point is the embellishment. So the first one on the F add 9 is the 2nd finger hammering down. It's exactly the same on the C, just on a different position, obviously. So there's F major 9 with a hammer on. There's the C with the hammer on. So just literally strum and then hammer that finger down nice and solid. You definitely want to practice that. If you're not used to doing that, making sure your 3rd finger is not muting that 3rd string as well. It needs to be ringing out. So just practice strum and then hammer that second finger down. And on the C. On the G, starts regular, but we have a little first finger going down the first fret of the second string and then flicking off. I normally pull that one down. Pushing it up feels a bit weird, but pulling it down, and then the C will have the hammer-ons. We're going to talk about the rhythm more in a sec, but so obviously the chords are important, but it's the 16th note shuffle rhythm thing here that really gives it its character. It's definitely one that you should be trying to play along with to try and catch the feel of it. And it's I still find it interesting. I'd sometimes need to listen to it to trigger it back in my musical imagination, exactly the right feel of it. I often find that I get a bit too straight with it. It has got a little bit of a shuffle, chink-a-chink-a-chink, kind of. Not like a, you know, it's not like that. It's just a slight shuffle to have this. Rather than that's straight. There's like a definite feel that you probably want to try and absorb by playing along, but the starting point would be this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down. That's 1 and a 2 E and 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 E and 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 E and 1 and a 2 E and dun, 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 dun. And you definitely get the accent on the and after 2 and the and after 4. So 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 E and 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4. I'm exaggerating it now. 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 E and down, 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 up, down, 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 down. And really, to absorb this properly, I'd recommend playing along with the original recording, just without any chords, just like I'm doing here with the muted strum. It'll really help you get into the pocket of the right groove for the song. It's very hard to get into that pocket unless you know the song like really, really well. If you can imagine the song perfectly in your musical imagination, it'll probably be easier. But if you're newish to it or you're trying to absorb it better, then definitely just playing along. It just really trying to suck in that feeling like you're actually in the band. It's a really important part of the learning songs like this, I think. So that would be stage 1. Stage 2 would be then trying to apply that strumming pattern with those embellishments. So let's go over that now, real nice and slow. So we'd end up having this accent is on the first drum, and it's not like it's straight on. Down, hammer, down, up, down, up, down. And then there's this little, the up comes on the second 16th note of the G, so the upstroke after beat 2 on the G. So 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and 1 and a 2 E and a 2 E and down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down. And that kind of practice, really, really valuable. Just playing that same groove over and over again, trying to get into the groove of it, feeling the yeah, trying to feel it, trying to get it so you've played it enough that it feels natural and comfortable. Don't just be struggling with it, especially if you're going to sing. Make sure you give a decent amount of practice to those rhythms first of all before you try and sing over the top, or the rhythms are likely to go a little bit weird. Now, the intro and the first verse follow that pattern pretty strictly. The F to C to G to back to C again, that cycle. After every verse as well, you get 2 bars of C with this little pattern, pretty much the same sort of groove as the other ones, but you lift off your second finger for the and after 3 for the rest of the bar. So you have this 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it's just yeah, again, listen to the original recording to suck that in, but remember that there's 2 bars of C at the end of every verse. From the second verse onwards, the second time through the sequence, it stays on the G for the whole bar without going back to the C. So you end up with F, C, G, C. This time it's going to stay on the G. Same for the last 2 times. And then you've got that little bit of C at the end. So make sure you're aware of that sequence and the way it applies to the song. Again, listen to the original recording is the best way to absorb that stuff. So once you've got through verse 1, verse 2, verse 3 is exactly the same as verse 2, we come to the bridge, which is a really interesting change up. The speed of the chords changes. It's just, yeah, it's really lovely way of breaking up the song there. So the first chord will be the F add 9 again. This time I'd try and get the bass note there with the thumb. You don't have to, but kind of feels like a nice change. Then it goes to C with an E bass, which looks like an A minor 7. I'm muting the 5th string with the tip of my second finger. You could play like a full C, but I feel like it kind of muddies things up a bit. Sounds better for me like that, leaving that little finger down for that as well. So F add 9, C with an E bass, A minor, you can leave little finger down for that or not, doesn't really matter. To a D with an F sharp bass, again I'm using my thumb, but you could choose a different option. If you struggle with all of those, just play a regular D, but with the F sharp bass sounds good. And then to a G, little fills there. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it might just be the first finger, but I've been adding a few extras in there when I've been playing it, I think. And then it's F, A minor to G, F, C, A minor, D with an F sharp bass, G, F, A minor to G, and then 2 bars of G at the end, just getting back into the sequence. Now note that the very last time when it hits that G at the end, it just stops and it holds the G. So that bridgy part comes after verse 3 and then also at the very end of the song. Obviously the chords are changing quite a lot faster in this section. We're using the down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up little sequence again. The main one is the beat though. The other 2 are kind of supplemental to it. The feeling is definitely da, ba, 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 right on the beat. So that little down and up is played, but it's not a dominant kind of thing. So you end up with like a... Likely to take a bit of practice, that kind of chord progression, of course, because it's a bit faster. If you're struggling with adding the rhythm right away, don't forget to practice the chords separately, because if you're trying to practice the rhythm as well as the chord changes, you might find that a bit sticky. So we'd definitely be recommending practicing just going like... just as an exercise, just straight through that a few times. Really make sure you got the chords down first, then slow it down. Make sure, get the chords right, add the rhythm in at a slower tempo, and then gradually work its way back up to the full tempo. Well, I think that's about it for the technical stuff for this song. I really would recommend that you do some practice along with the original recording. Of course, you've got to get the chords right and you've got to get the strumming right. They're kind of the mechanic stuff. But as soon as you got that ready, start playing along with the original recording and soak up that time feel. Get it feeling good. Feel like you're in the band, that you're playing with it. It's a really big deal, really important. A lot of people kind of skip over that bit, and I think it's something that shouldn't be missed out on. If you want to check out some more Tom Petty songs, remember there's loads over on the website. Just go to justinguitar.com and use the search feature to search for Tom Petty. You'll find most of his biggest hits over there. I'm a big fan of his work. Hopefully you are as well. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you dig what I do, the usual YouTube thing, hit the bell if you like it. Leave a comment. Let me know what other songs you'd like me to do of Tom Petty. I've got a little list of stuff that I'm working through as well, as you may have noticed if you're following along regularly. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.